And now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's Division I semifinal game between the Milwaukee Vincent Vikings and the Madison West Regents. For Milwaukee Vincent, at forward, a 6'2" junior, number 25, Deontay Tatum. And at forward for Madison West, a 6'5" senior, number 55, Ben Bry. At the other forward for Milwaukee Vincent, a 6' sophomore, number 31, Greg Brown. And at forward for West, a 6'5" senior, number 30, Justin Anderson. Starting at center for Milwaukee Vincent, a 6'6" junior, number 45, Humont Greer. And at guard for West, a 6'2" senior, number 22, David Hernseret. Starting at guard for Vincent, a 5'10" senior, number 23, George Highshaw. And at guard for West, a 6'3" junior, number 32, Michael Collins. At the other guard for Vincent, a 5'10" junior, number 10, Gabe Green. And at guard for West, a 6'5" senior, number 33, Lewis Monroe. The head coach for Milwaukee Vincent is Tom Diener, and the head coach for Madison West is Boyce Hodge. The referees for tonight's game are James Self from Glenwood City and Daniel Hoffman from River Falls.
Here you look at where are these two schools from. Of course, Madison West, just about a mile or so to the west from the Kohl Center here in Madison. Milwaukee Vincent in suburban, actually in Milwaukee on the west side. And your WEAC starting lineups, Deontay Tatum and Humont Greer, we talked about them. Who we haven't talked about, coach, is George Highshaw, the point guard.
Yeah, he's very much a key to their team. He can do it all as well.
For Madison West, we talked about Ben Bry and Brian Kennedy, but the guy we haven't talked about is Lewis Monroe.
Yes, and of course he had 12 points last night. He's averaging 14.3 a game, sets a lot of stuff up.
Milwaukee Vincent wins the tip. They're wearing their road, I should say, maroon uniforms with the gold trim. West in their home whites. Three-pointer on the way, good. Right off the bat by Greg Brown. Vincent not a three-point shooting team, but they hit one to start the game.
Well, and they dared him almost to shoot it. They really did put a hand in his face, and he came through and put it in. I don't think they expected it, like you said.
Anderson with it in the corner. Skip pass, now Monroe. Got Green on him inside. Bry blocked by Greer. Here comes Vincent on the push. This is Highshaw. Highshaw, Vincent's terrific point guard. Green inside, that's Tatum. Had a terrific game against Neenah in the quarterfinals. Tatum in the lane. And Vincent off to a 5-0 start.
Nice floating jump shot to the left. He made it look a lot easier than it is. A nice touch.
Quick start for the Vikings. It's exactly what Tom Diener wanted. He was really afraid of Madison West's offensive explosiveness. Collins with the miss, and Tatum climbs the imaginary ladder for the rebound. Brown. Offensive foul, no basket.
No basket.
The sophomore, Greg Brown, going hard to the basket, but gets called for the foul.
Yeah, that was a good call. The defensive man was set before he took off. The defensive man has to be set before he leaves the ground, because once he leaves the ground, he's got a right to come down, but he got set just in time.
Justin Anderson doing the job defensively that time for the Regents. Well, the Regents still looking for their first bucket of the game. We've played about a minute and a half. Bry inside on Greer, pump fakes, too strong. Rebounded. Monroe will reset the offense. A second chance opportunity for West. Bry this time takes it hard to the basket. Blocking foul that time. Tatum thought he had position. Knocked to the floor, but it's a block. And we'll see if Bry will shoot a pair.
Yeah, they were both moving, and when they're both moving, the foul goes on the defense.
So Ben Bry will step to the line to shoot a pair, averaging 14.8 No, he won't go to the line to shoot a pair. The referees decide that it was before the shot attempt, so they'll inbound on the baseline. Fry on Greer, rejected by Greer. I don't think Fry saw him.
No, that was great helping defense.
Brown off to a quick start, and so is Vincent. 7-0, just like that. And Boyce Hodge wants to talk it over with his ball club. This will be a 20-second timeout. Here's another look at the Greer block and the Brown layup.
Yeah, I tell you, Vincent plays textbook defense, Scott. And there's again, you got to give the defense credit for that basket. Just beautiful defensive play. This other guy came, rotated over, got the steal, and took it down.
You know, this matchup is a rematch of last year's quarterfinal game in which Vincent dominated West 54-27, eliminating the Regents in the quarterfinals last year. So Madison West out for some revenge tonight. Tom Diener, you're looking at him in his 7th year as head coach at Milwaukee. Vincent has led his school to state titles in 96, 97, and 98.
Tremendous coach and a tremendous gentleman. In fact, we've got 2 tremendous gentlemen as coaches. We talked to them both before the game. What great guys.
Hernsrick to Anderson. Spin move, Anderson from 15. And Brown with the rebound. Boy, Brown's been very active here in the early going. Both ends of the floor. For 3. Couldn't get that one to go. Hernsrick with the rebound. Now here come the Regents. They want to run. Collins. Bry battles Greer inside, and Tatum, and they call Bry for the foul.
A little over aggressive that time. I think if he had his right arm out, and he was kind of riding just a little bit. Madison West needs a bucket here, Scott, to get their confidence going.
Well, Tom Diener was so impressed with the offensive firepower of Madison West. I don't think we're going to see this team down for long.
Oh no, that's for sure. Tom said they can beat you from anywhere.
Green too strong on the 3-pointer. Monroe with it. Bry, he can shoot the 3. That's going to be short. Tatum loses it inside. Monroe has it. And the Regents continue to run. Still looking for their first points. In the corner, Collins. Back out Monroe. Left open for the 3. Regents are on the board.
Nice off-ball pick. Got himself open and took advantage of the little helping defense by Vincent and hit the open shot.
4-point lead for the Vikings. 4.5 to go first quarter. Greer, a little pump fake action that time. Gets it to go from 10. Hume on Greer. Leads the team in scoring. He had 12 points yesterday against Nina. Regents swinging around. Collins now back over to Hernsrick. Anderson looking inside for Bry. With Tatum on him. Pump fakes. Gets it to go. The big fella just too strong that time.
Yes, he used his strength and a good job of rotating the ball by West that time.
Regents starting to find some rhythm offensively now. They've cut the Vincent lead to 4. Highshaw going hard to the basket, lays it up short, but the little guy gets his own rebound.
Smallest guy in there, and he got his own rebound. You bet. Great effort.
Coach Hodge not happy about that. Boxing out was a big concern for him coming into this game.
In fact, both coaches, if you remember, stressed that they need the boxing out. You bet. Great effort.
Bryce saves it. Anderson and Brown battle, and the Vincent Vikings have it. Highshaw to Greer. Blocked away. And out of bounds. And Vincent will keep a good defense down there on the sideline. And now here comes super sub Brian Kennedy. Boy, did he light it up yesterday against Janesville Craig. 15 points. All 15 of those points in the second quarter.
Right, he came in and scored 7 right away when he got in there and really gave him a spark. That was nice penetration that time for the dish off, but they recovered real well and blocked that ball out of bounds.
Tatum to trigger the inbound. Swinging around to Brown. Nice looking jump shot. Brown off to a hot start. He's got 7 points already. Collins on the other end. Oh my goodness. That brings the fans up off their seats. Michael Collins.
The monster dunk. Kids love that. Everybody loves that. Except Vincent.
That's good TV stuff, Carl.
Yes, it is.
Almost a turnover by the Vikings. Greer. I'll tell you what, Vincent shooting the ball very well from the field right now.
Yeah.
Kennedy left open for three. That one's a bit short, and Tatum has it. Vikings by 6, 13-7. Hishaw, long two-pointer that time. Kennedy has it, 2-on-1. Lewis Monroe takes it up and in.
Great outlet pass. He really got that ball out.
Kennedy he wasted no time. As soon as he had it, he was looking.
Boom, just a touch pass
down
is all
court.
it was.
You got it. 4-point ball game.
We're in for a big treat, Scott. These are two fine basketball teams.
Tremendous athletes on both sides, that's for sure. Brown can't get that three-pointer to go.
There it is again.
Rye beating the Vikings down the floor, draws the foul, 2 free throws. Tom Diener pleading with his Vincent Vikings to get back on defense. Nobody back there.
Yeah, they got to sprint back because wow, you know, they give them an inch, they'll take it.
Greg Brown now has 2 personal fouls, and he's the guy who's really got the Vikings off quickly offensively. So Tom Diener has a decision to make, and he's already made it. He's going to bring in Rick Davis for Greg Brown.
And Tom Diener, one thing he's a little bit worried about was fatigue because he only used really 6 men. Both teams really only used about 6 men last night, and playing within 24 hours, that can wear on you.
Yeah, the Regents were able to empty their bench at the end of the game when it became a blowout, but you're right. Neither of these two coaches go deep into their bench.
Right. Yeah, and Tom's kid, Vincent, had to go all the way to the final break. So
timeout on the floor. It's Vincent leading by 3. A message from our statewide sponsors now. This is your WIAA network station.
When your assets just keep growing. When your drive to succeed comes with personalized plates. When you finally earned that office with a view. When you wrap up that big deal. We've got the insurance and investments you'll need. Farm Bureau Financial Services. Just say when, whenever you're ready.
In Wisconsin, call a local rural agent near you.
Back at the Kohl Center, Scott Emmerich along with Carl Bruging. Division I semifinal action. You see the score, the time left in the first quarter. Very entertaining game so far, Carl.
Absolutely. We saw a monster dunk, and which everybody liked. And I tell you, the kids, we saw some great offense, but we've also seen some tremendous defense. Both teams working very hard.
Field goal percentage, Vincent hot start off. Brown 3 of 5, but he's on the bench with foul trouble. Madison West struggled early. Missed their first 6 shots, but they've come back to hit 4 of their next 6. Vincent Ball working on that 3-point lead. Inside Greer, double team that time. Somehow gets it off and in. Hugh Greer.
Notice how high he got the ball. He had the ball extended way above his head and had a real nice high release.
6 points now for Greer. Number 24, Brian Koenig is checked in the lineup for the Regents as Monroe misses the 3. Hishaw on the run, taking it up all the way and in. George Hishaw. Back come the Regents the other way. Fry loses the handle. Tatum. Green from the corner. Just like that, 4 quick runs for the Vikings, and they're up by 9.
Boy, you can light it up in a hurry. Okay, now Madison West going to slow it up just slightly. I think it's important to get a bucket here. They're going to probably work for they're going to work for the last shot.
Work 26 for the last
seconds. Shot. Try to get a little momentum going into that second quarter.
Lewis Monroe out on top. Gabe Green is on him. Final 15 seconds of the first quarter.
and let him create. They got a 4-man across the bottom low. Now they come up with a double high post.
Now Monroe will go to work. Koenig, great three-point shooter. That one is short, though, and out of bounds. With 0.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Koenig usually right on the mark from three-point range coming off the bench, but not that time. We've played 1 quarter of action, and it's all Vincent so far, leading by 9. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
If you're waiting for one more reason to come into Steinhoffel's, this is one day you can't afford to miss. It's your one chance to save a bundle on everything in the store. Relax, it's the one-day sale at Steinhoffel's. Save 10 to 50% store-wide and pay nothing for 6 months. Saturday only at the one-day sale at Steinhoffel's.
Our fish is delicious, sandwiches or dishes. Culver's batter dipped Norwegian cod fillets.
Center-cut cod fillets, hand-dipped fresh in our delicate batter with your choice of sides and our own family recipe tartar.
Sandwiches are dishes, delicate, delicious. Culver's batter dipped Norwegian cod fillets.
Bob Bradovich back at the Kohl Center. I'm standing in the Madison West cheering section with a member of the region's 1992 state championship team, Gus Doyle. Was that really 8 years ago? It seems like it was yesterday. You guys are walking off the fieldhouse floor holding that gold trophy.
Yeah, especially when our girls did so well and got a state championship, or excuse me, a state berth in the tournament. So when we were at the fieldhouse last week, it really gave me kind of brought me back to 90, 93, 92.
Talk about the difference being a fan and being a competitor. I've talked to a couple people this week who said, boy, playing is the easy part. It's being up here in the fan when you have no control. That's the tough part.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's a little bit more relaxing. You know, as Regent fans and as a diehard Regent, I feel that the guys are going to do well. And but at the same time, it is difficult for me to sitting up here in the stands, and I'm at the edge of my seat throughout the whole game.
All right, Gus Doyle, I'll let you get back to cheering. Thanks much for your time. Scott, Carl, back to you.
Thanks, Bob. Looked like Gus was holding a future region player in his hand.
Yeah, really.
Monroe breaking free, stolen away and out of bounds. Tatum, tremendous quickness.
Yes, he is. He took it down.
Madison West really cranked it up in the second quarter yesterday against Gainesville Craig.
Yeah, they went on that 17-0 run. That was really awesome.
And they'll need to crank it up here in the second quarter, too. Fry getting free inside, but poked away. Fry wants a foul. He didn't get it. Vincent ball.
Greer, a nice bit of defense that time.
And now Vincent's going to run some clock. We've seen this before from them, haven't we,
Yes,
Carl?
we have. Well, I know he has a tremendous amount of respect for Madison's offense, so I think maybe he wants to shorten the game slightly.
Now back out to Highshaw. Tatum with Koenig on him. One-on-one. Help from Monroe. Rebound by Bry. Bry inside, one-on-one against Greer. Blocked by Greer that time, but he got a little body. Yeah. So free throws on the way for Ben Bry.
Take another look at it here. See, he had a lot of ball, but he also had a lot of arm. It's amazing. These refs do an awesome job when you think about it. They're right about, what, 99.9% of the time.
The 2000 WIAA tournament is brought to you by milk from the dairy farm families of Wisconsin. Remember to grab a tall, cold glass of milk at every meal. Got milk? Ben Bry got free throw. He also got 4 points. Pardon my grammar.
There you go.
Yeah, my English teacher wife is listening back home going, what the heck did he just say?
Yeah. As long as you knew what you said, that's fine.
West now settling back into his zone.
Right, he said that he might have, they got running on him too much. He said he might settle into a 1-2-2 zone. Plus, if they got any foul trouble, he said he'd go into a zone.
Green from the corner, nothing but net. Nice looking stroke that time by Gabe Green. He now has 5. 11-point lead. Vincent has doubled Madison West's score. Kennedy, see if he gets up. Trying to take it hard to the basket, but he gets called for the offensive foul. I thought he was going to throw that one down one-handed.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a one-hand dunk, but let's take a look at it right here. There again, nice helping defense by Greer. Came over and was set. And not only you get a foul that time, but you get the guy thinking next time, or he's got to be a little more hesitant going in. It takes away from their offensive flow sometimes.
Almost stolen away that time by Hernsrich. We haven't heard a lot from David Hernsrich yet. High shot, spin move.
Oh,
feed to
nice
Greer.
Pass. Oh.
There's another play that brings them out of their seats.
All started with some great penetration, though. Great penetration. He has a good sight of the floor.
And right now, this is looking like a repeat from last year's quarterfinal game in which Milwaukee Vincent dominated. Timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it right here. And Carl, as we take a look at this play, how has Milwaukee Vincent been able to build this lead? Look at George Highshot.
Well, right there, you notice complete control, complete body control. Takes it in and realizes, hey, I'm the smallest guy on the floor. And everybody came to stop him. And again, penetration. Penetrate and kick, penetrate and kick. And I don't care how big they are. If you can do that, you can get your guys some nice open looks.
Has that been the key so far for Vincent offensively?
Well, that plus they recognized the zone right away. And again, you notice that time on that one. First, this was penetration and kick. The time before that, they hit the inside. The zone had to collapse a little bit. He kicked it back out, and again, another open shot. So very well coached team. Tom Vincent is, he's got complete control, and those kids know what they're doing out there. You can see the experience coming through.
The Vikings on an 11-1 run. You've been in Boyce Hodges' situation before where a team really jumps out at you. What do you tell your team?
Just got to say, hey, guys, a lot can happen. We can get back in this game. And 10 points today means nothing, Scott. And a lot of times you'll see different runs. One team will get a run of 8, 10 points. And then sometimes the fans get excited and say, well, gee, then all of a sudden they let up. You don't let up. The other team gets a run. And explosive as Madison West is, I'm sure they'll be making their run pretty quick. And that's why you call a great timeout. And then, sometimes you take the 20, sometimes you take the whole timeout. They needed a whole timeout this time because he had to make sure he broke that momentum, get them out of their sink a little bit. And now they might come out of here and possibly run something. They need a basket again to break that momentum and get things going.
Well, the Regents shot 51% from the field yesterday against Janesville Craig and beating them 64-44. They've been ice cold from the field so far today.
Well, we got a long way to go. Look at Seymour this afternoon, that one Division II game, down 20-5 at the quarter, and ended up being up at half.
Well, with Madison West's offensive firepower, they are not out of this. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Now, they got a lot of ways they can get at you. And they're a very well-coached team as well, and some great athletes. So this is a long way from over.
We'll see how the Regents respond. Kennedy open for 3. He was hot yesterday from that range, and he drains that one.
Same thing we were talking about Vincent was doing. You notice he penetrated. That might have been a set situation because he penetrated, kicked it back out for the 3, and had the nice open 3. Big basket. Some are worth more than others. That might have been worth 6 points.
A momentum changer, that's for sure, if the Regents can hold the Vikings here.
Right.
Highshaw with Collins on him. Tatum out to Green. They swing it around.
West back man-to-man again.
Rick Davis, now Highshaw back to Davis. Open for 3. In and out. Tatum rebounds, and a foul on Bry inside, and another offensive rebound for Vincent.
Yeah. One thing about those three-point shots, too, is that ball comes flying out there pretty hard. So it gives your offensive guys a little more chance on offensive rebounds because that ball is coming out a little harder, and that's what happened that time. But again, a nice look. You notice he penetrated and kicked it back out. Vincent leading in the boards, as you see on your screen, 11-6. That's one of the reasons they're ahead, of course.
Tatum, top of the key, pulls up from 16. Deontay Tatum. His second basket of the game. He now has 4. Tatum had 16 points in that quarterfinal win over Nina yesterday. Kennedy left open again for 3. A little too strong, but he drew the foul on Greer, so Kennedy will at least get to go to the free throw line and shoot some free throws. That's 2 fouls now on Cumont Greer. Foul trouble for the junior forward.
Right. And they can't afford really to, Vincent can't. They are not that deep by Tom's own admission, so they can't afford to get in foul trouble. There again, they ran a nice little pick, and they tried to switch, and as a result, he found out he was too far from him, so he had to come at him a little bit. Instead of going up straight, he had to go towards him, and ended up falling into him for a foul.
Substitution now for Vincent, number 40, Maurice Wade, replacing Greer. So with those 2 fouls, Greer will sit, and we'll get to see Maurice Wade for the first time in this tournament. He did not play against Nina.
Right, he didn't. He's averaging 4 points a game, 1 rebound a game, but sophomore, 6'2", so he's getting his chance to see what he can do.
Well, one thing we talked about yesterday with Tom Diener's crew, this is a young team. Even though they've been to state 5 straight years, this is a team that does not have a lot of state tournament experience.
Well, actually, only 2 seniors out of his top 7. So, you know, relatively young, although 6 of them were at the state tournament on the bench last year. That's still not the same as playing.
Tatum can't get it to go. Saved that time by Wade, but he stepped on the baseline. Out of bounds, back over to Madison West. They continue that point, Carl, even though they don't have a lot of state tournament experience, when you play in that city conference, you certainly have plenty of big game experience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Kind of makes up for it.
Certainly. Now they're coming out in a high 1-4 here for West.
The Regents cut that lead under 9. Traveling that time, Kennedy took a little hop step before he drove to the basket. With 3:41 to go in the second quarter, the Vikings leading this one 26-17. As you can look at Boyce Hodge in his 3rd year as head coach at Madison West.
Had a nice visit with him before the game. What a fine gentleman.
Green left open for 3. And that time, good box out that time by Kennedy. Kennedy on the push. The Vikings get back. Hernserich. And now Monroe will set up the offense. Monroe had 12 points yesterday against Janesville. Craig also handed out 8 assists. Monroe 1-on-1 against Green. Decides to go against it. Now swings it back out to Hernserich. Kennedy with Tatum on him. Another traveling call that time. And Kennedy has a look of perplexion on his face. What do you think?
Well, it's hard to see. Hard to see what he must have moved his foot slightly.
Turnovers.
Okay, Madison West with 6, Vincent with 3. So right now, Vincent's leading in all categories: rebounds, less turnovers, more rebounds, and of course on the scoreboard by 9.
Vincent again, very patient offensively. Highshot driving, feeding.
Nice penetration move.
Maurice Wade with his first basket of the tournament.
Highshot, beautiful penetration and kick again. You notice that time that ball never hit the floor unless it was going towards the basket. Pass, 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 and then penetrate with the penetration dribble and find the open man.
Koenig. Foul inside that time on Hernserich on the offensive glass.
Yeah, they've got a little bit anxious that time. No time to panic yet. They are down by 11, but he got a little anxious, wanting to get that board, and got on his back.
2:11 to go. Let's see if Tom Diener decides to pull it out and run some clock. They're very good at doing that.
Yeah, it could be. Let's see.
And they love to do it with the lead.
Yes, they do.
Now it looks like they're going to tap.
Well, they got momentum going a little bit. Sometimes when you got momentum going, a lot of times if you don't have momentum, that's when you really want to do that. And right now they've got them all going, so they may want to keep it. They got nice rhythm going in their offense.
That's a good point. Tatum kicking it out. Highshot drew the contact. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. George Highshaw. the senior guard, one of the only returning starter from last year's state tournament.
You can see his experience. I mean, he's really setting things up for him. Always in complete control of his body, whether he's dribbling, passing, whatever. He's always seeing the entire floor.
Highshaw, the captain of this team, an outstanding student as well, according to Tom Diener, a 3.6 GPA. Does it in the classroom as well as on the basketball court.
Yeah, isn't that neat? He's over there directing traffic on defense as well.
Coming down to the final minute 30 of the first half. Vincent has pushed that lead back up to 13, matching their biggest lead of the game. Collins looking for a cutter, finds Monroe. Decides to pull up from 15, gets it to go as Tatum hits the deck for the Vikings. 7 now for Monroe.
Yeah, very nice move. Nice elevation on that shot.
Wade out on high. It's a three-pointer on the way. Rebounded by Kennedy. Here comes Monroe. Vikings get back. Koenig got to have a hand in his face wherever he is. Blocked that time by Wade, but a foul on Davis. Got a little body that time. The block by Wade was clean, but Davis had body.
Yeah, came over to help and got a little over anxious.
Brian Koenig going to the free throw line. Carl, I got to ask you something. Did you know unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program without the express written consent of Shockley Communications Corporation is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law? Did you know that?
When did they pass that law?
I don't know. You'll get an answer to that guy. That's the regent.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, anybody who breaks that copyright law, you get an answer to that regent. Lion or cat or whatever it is. .35 seconds to go. First half of action. Koenig open for 3. That one's off the mark.
Oh.
Kennedy tried to keep it alive, but Wade got his hands on it, and Kennedy gets the foul instead. 2 personal fouls on Kennedy.
That's 16 fouls on West, so next one will be a bonus. So both teams have 16 fouls. Of course, we've only got 28 seconds to go, but foul either way will result in a free throw now for half.
Tom Diener holds up one finger. He wants one final shot.
He'd be very, very happy. He'd be happy to go in with an 11-point lead. And if he could go in with a 13 or 14-point lead, he'd be ecstatic probably.
One thing we talked about with Coach Diener before the game is that Vincent plays so well with the lead.
Yes, they've been he said they've been ahead most of the time this year.
Highshaw for 3. Out of bounds it goes, and with a half a second to go, Regents will get one more shot at it if they can get a shot off. Ross Albertson checking back in for the final half second of the first half. See if the Regents can get a shot off here in the last half second. They fire it down. And Collins couldn't handle it. Halftime at the Kohl Center Division I semifinals. Milwaukee Vincent in control, leading this one 30-19 as they look to advance to championship Saturday. Tomorrow's Division I title game to be played at about 8:15 right here at the Kohl Center. We'll be back to recap the first half of action. Look ahead to the second half as well. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
A passion for
on them as well, but they're very, very crisp on offense. Their whole game plan is working out real well. Secondly, remember, he said they had a box out, and I don't think they've given Madison West many second shots, and that's very, very important in a game like this.
If you're Region head coach Boyce Hodge, what
so much more to education than just athletics. Tomorrow at noon. It will be Cassville coming in with a 25-1 record, a winner over Fall River today. They will play Wasaukie, which defeated Clayton this afternoon. So it's Cassville and Wasaukie. Wasaukie with a 23-3 record, playing for the division title tomorrow at noon. That will be followed by the Division II title game. Undefeated New Berlin West. Which had a sensational game against Oregon today, 59-42.
And a 15% discount from Warehouse Shoes.
Home improvement with cable TV. Call today.
In a life-threatening emergency, dial 911.
What?
leading the team in scoring, 14.8 per game coming in.
We really have to pick up the intensity. The change on offense, he wants his Regents to pound the ball inside. Hopefully they can draw some fouls, score some points, and get some points from the free throw line when the clock is not moving. On defense, he says we have to get out on Vincent shooters. Did not do a good job of that first half. Scott Carl, back to you.
Bob, thank you very much. A couple things we'll keep an eye on definitely here in the second half. Vincent starts the second half with the ball. Greer with it out on top. Now over to Highshaw. In the corner, Brown. Now to Highshaw. They leave him open. Green.
Vincent running a very disciplined offense right now. They know what the score is. You got to know what the score is. When you're ahead like this, you want to make sure you work for good. Nice move. Again, another nice penetration and a dip.
Brown to Tatum that time. 13-point lead. Tatum now with 6. See what the Regents do offensively here. See if they can open it up. Bry inside. Greer with good position. And Greer, I think, intimidated that one a little bit. Hernsruck couldn't get it to go, but there's Bry inside. A foul, and Bry will shoot a pair. Another look at it inside. Bry and Greer going at it.
Kept it alive real well. There he got him across the arm. Greg Brown.
Ben Bry shooting a pair, leading the team in scoring, 14.8 per game coming in, has just 4 so far for the Regents.
We've got 3 boys with 2 fouls each for Vincent. Not any problem right now, but it's early in the third quarter. They've got to try to get through this quarter without getting that 3rd foul.
Bry struggling from the line.
Big time, yep.
A 63% free throw shooter coming in. So the Vikings will work on this 13-point lead. It's 32-19. Highshaw in and out. Anderson battling Greer, and Greer wins that battle.
Boy, he just used his height that time. Whoops.
A couple of players, Green and Hernsford, getting caught up inside. Great dribble drive, penetration, Greg Brown. He now has 9. Biggest lead of the game now for the Vikings, 15 points.
They are playing flawless ball right now.
Collins too hard, and Greer rebounds. Now over to Highshaw, who will reset the offense. Inside, Tatum. Rebounded by Bry. See if the Regents get their fast break going. Collins. Slashing to the rack, can't get it to go. Now here comes Brown. He's got Tatum on the wing. Brown takes it in himself. Rebounded inside, and a foul that time on Greg Brown.
Well, he got 2 quick fouls here in the second quarter. Is going to give him number 3.
There you go. Milwaukee Vincent's shooting inside the arc, 62%. Beyond the arc, they hit a couple of early 3-pointers, but since then have been shut out. So
yeah, neither team really that hot from outside. Vincent's 2 out of 9 on threes in the first half, and Madison West was 2 out of 8.
Tell you what, though, that 62% shooting for Vincent inside the 3-point line, definitely a result of the dribble penetration, isn't it, Carl?
Between that and a couple steals on defense where they got the layup, you bet. Absolutely, taking a very high percentage shot. I don't think Vincent's taken a bad shot yet tonight.
Greer stuffs Bry that time, stuffs him twice. Hugh-Mont Greer putting on a defensive clinic inside.
And, you know, a little hint for these young kids, don't try to hammer it in his face. Just go up there and get your hand on the ball, and that's what he does. Yeah. Boy, a nice defense. And then, who was that down there?
Highshaw down on the floor, got whistled for the foul. Monroe off the inbounds. Swing it back to Monroe. Bry going by Greer this time. That time he got it to go. Ben Bry finding some space in the paint.
Real nice touch. Nice move to his left.
Still a 13-point lead, though, for Milwaukee Vincent. They finished the season ranked 6th in the final Division I poll. Green rebounds. Greer. Hugh-Mont Greer. He becomes the first player to reach double figures in points. He now has 10. Bry left open for 3. Boxing out nicely is Tatum. Here come the Vikings with Highshaw.
And Greer had 14 rebounds as well last night. He had 12 points, 14 rebounds. And he's taken right off where he left off last night. And of course, Madison West beat a pretty good Janesville Craig team 64-44 last night, whereas Milwaukee Vincent knocked off Neenah 47-43 in a very exciting ball game.
They definitely had to work for that quarterfinal win. Missed some free throws down the stretch, but their defense in the end prevailed.
Yes, it did. Yeah, they looked like they were in control quite a bit of the ball game, but boy, you missed those free throws down the stretch, and you got to give Neenah credit. They didn't give up and almost came back and pulled that one out. But like you said, they played the good D down the stretch, and that's what won it for them.
Super sub Brian Kennedy back into the lineup now for the Regents. 5 points off the bench in that first half. And West looking for a spark right now in any sort of fashion. Oh, Davis with a nice penetration. Couldn't get it to go. And Kennedy rebounds. Monroe in the corner, Hernsrick. We have yet to hear from him offensively today. Inside Collins, no basket, but a foul anyway on Milwaukee Vincent. 3 personal fouls now on Hugh-Mont Greer, and with 3:38 left in the third quarter, he's going to have to be extra careful. In fact, I think they're going to get a sub for him right now. Maurice Wade will check in now for Greer.
Sometimes, even if you don't take them out for a long time, just enough to settle them down and just remind them, hey, once in a while kids don't know how many fouls they got. And I might already have said, hey, you got 3. So, I only thought I had 2. No, remember that one you had earlier? Oh, that's right. So then they play a little smarter, maybe. I'm sure Tom won't have them out too long.
Maybe they're trying to trick the coach so they can stay in the game, huh?
Yeah, that could be.
Ben Bry with a nice looking post move there. He has 8 points. Still a 13-point lead for Vincent. Highshaw, dribble penetration. Rebounded inside, and here comes Kennedy up ahead to Monroe. That may be the spark Madison West needs. In fact, Tom Diener senses that. He calls a timeout right away. Here's another look at Lewis Monroe off the feed from Kennedy.
Great pass. Great pass. That'll get the crowd in. Like I say, Tom Diener alertly calls a 20-second timeout and try to take the crowd back out of it, because that brought the entire Madison West contingent to their feet. And they're excited, and now, you know, he hopefully diffused that as far as he's concerned. Of course, West says, hey, they're in their huddle saying, hey, here we go now, let's go.
Let's check in now with Bob Radovich, who's courtside. Bob?
Scott, thanks. You know, our focus here these last 2 weeks in Madison has been high school basketball. Of course, we've got a couple college tournaments going on. The Badgers in the NCAA Division I tournament, and UW-Eau Claire playing in the Division III national tournament, the Final Four out at Salem, Virginia. And a score a lot of folks in our Eau Claire area will be happy to hear. UW-Eau Claire 70, Salem State of Massachusetts 42. So the Blue Golds of Eau Claire going to the national championship game in Division III. That game tomorrow, of course. UW-Platteville won it all last year in Division III. Scott and Carl, back to you.
Thanks, Bob. Very impressive for Eau Claire. Eau Claire's without their big fella. He got hurt earlier.
Right, and that says a lot for this Wisconsin State League. And what's neat is almost all of those players in that league are from Wisconsin players. So it speaks well for Eau Claire, and it speaks well for the entire state of Wisconsin.
A lot of state pride when they talk about how that conference is one of the best Division III conferences in the nation. As you get a look at Maurice Wade.
Hasn't Bo Ryan done a nice job at UWM?
It's become sort of a feeder for big-time college coaches in our state.
Right.
Dick Bennett, Point, Bo Ryan at Platteville, now at UWM.
We've got some tremendous coaches in the state, in the college ranks.
Here's another look at Maurice Wade.
Nice pass. And you got to give Wade credit. He hasn't played a whole lot. Rather than dunk it, he ought to make sure he made the bucket.
Wade, we should mention, is playing with a bit of a tender ankle, according to Coach Tom Diener. Hasn't shown it yet. Looks pretty good. By the way, the 2000 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic, a leader in medical care research and education since 1916.
Speaking of education, I think the WIA does a tremendous job, don't you? I mean, they've got this thing so well under control. It's really they got everything in perspective. As wonderful as this is, we still say education is first and then athletics, but they run a tremendous tournament and a tremendous program, all the way from the regionals all the way up to the state tournament.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
I'll echo that, without a doubt. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter, with Vincent leading by 12.
I don't know if you know Doug Chickering, but there isn't a finer gentleman around.
Sure.
He's done just a tremendous job for the state high school athletics program.
You can't do the tournaments down here without getting to know Doug Chickering.
That's right. And Karen
Kuhn. They're all over the place.
You bet.
Watching the games.
But Doug is a tremendous gentleman. He's done just a tremendous job.
The Vikings are showing some patience on offense right now. Content to work the clock. 1:30 to go in the third quarter.
I'm just so impressed with they know the score. In other words, they're ahead, and they're just working. You know, every shot they take is a pretty good shot.
Shot double team now. And really, when you play defense against an offense like this, it can be very frustrating, although the Regents get the ball back right now. Hertzerick.
That was great defense, actually. Yeah, we got 1 minute left in the third quarter, and they're down by 12.
Monroe out on top with it. Coach Boyce Hodge calls the play from the bench. Kennedy in the post. Kennedy, nice little soft jumper along the baseline. Kennedy with 9 off the bench.
Yeah, and that's important. To get that ball in the paint. Like you said, they didn't have only 6 points the first half in the paint.
Final 30 seconds now. The Vikings working some clock. They're going to hold the ball for 1. Regents applying the pressure. Highshaw out on top. Final 15 seconds.
Every time West tries to double them, they've got that floor spread, and it gets pretty frustrating trying to double when they're that far apart.
Brown. Fry with the rebound, and that'll do it. 3 quarters of action in the books here at the Kohl Center, and it's Milwaukee Vincent taking a 10-point lead into the 4th quarter. A message now from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
At McDonald's, seeing you smile makes us smile every day. And you'll definitely be happy when you hear about our everyday 99-cent values.
You get more for the money 'cause McDonald's treats you right.
Get your choice of McDonald's tender, juicy McChicken sandwich or a delicious double cheeseburger for just 99 cents. So come in for this great, everyday, tasty McChicken double cheeseburger deal going on now.
More for the money 'cause McDonald's treats you right. Somebody say McDonald's.
Break out and feel that adrenaline rush you can only get with a new set of wheels. Break in a newly redesigned Taurus with 1,000 cash back and 3.9% financing. Taurus is the family car that breaks out of the mold. Come on, what are you waiting for? Get up, get out. 1,000 cash back and 3.9% financing. Get to your local Ford store today.
Scott Emmerich and Carl Brugink back at the Kohl Center in Madison. Our first Division I semifinal of the evening. The Vincent Vikings leading this one by 10. The winner of this game will play the winner of our next game this evening. Milwaukee, Washington, and Brookfield Central. The Division I championship will be played tomorrow evening at roughly 8:15 or so, right after that Division III title game, which will tip off at 6:30. Milwaukee Vincent. A 14-point lead with 7 minutes remaining yesterday against Neenah, but they hung on to win only by 4.
And of course, their big problem was they had a little problem making free throws. They only made 9 out of 21 for 43%. But like I said, tonight they'll probably come out if we get to a free throw line, probably make about 9 out of 10.
Well, you know there's a good chance that it'll come down to free throws again for Vincent tonight.
Actually, they played pretty even. The first quarter, Vincent was ahead by 9, and then they outscored him by 2 the second quarter and by 1 the third quarter.
Kennedy rattles one in and out from 3-point range.
It's always harder shooting when you're from behind. That one was just that hair off. When you're ahead, you're just a little bit more relaxed. When you're behind, you just want to score so badly that sometimes you try to steer it in, and sometimes you're just a little hair off.
Highshaw in the corner to Brown.
Well, we know Madison West is going to make a run yet before this game's over, so we'll see when it comes.
Highshaw out on top. Now Greer. Greer back in the game after committing his 3rd foul late in the 3rd quarter. Tatum with Hernzurich on him. Now Brown, and again the Vikings run the clock. Inside now, Highshaw. Back out to Highshaw. And more seconds tick off the clock.
Playing percentage basketball right now.
Vikings not even interested in attacking the basket right now. Stolen away by Bry, and Highshaw commits the foul.
Just like last time, it looked like Highshaw might have been able to take this for a layup, but as the smallest guy on the floor, why try to challenge these 6'3", 6'4" guys?
We have a timeout on the floor. A message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Lion's acrylic sinks from Menards are stain and chip resistant and feature an extra large bowl for big pots and pans. Choose from white or almond, on sale just $89. Top off your sink with a new Price Pfister kitchen faucet. This chrome model is on sale just $49. A designer white or almond model is $89. This pull-out spray model is $129. Get fabulous savings on Price Pfister from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
They are there all through the day. They help us get where we want to go. They make what we need and protect what we have. They help us understand each other.
They design most anything. They build most everything. They keep the record straight. They show us the way. They show us the world. They show us the future. They are graduates of Wisconsin technical colleges. Where would we be without them?
Yeah, they're all decked out here at the Kohl Center in Madison. As you look at some Regent fans, hoping their team can make a comeback here in the fourth quarter. 38-28, Vincent in control with 6.5 minutes to go. Always nice to see the fans and the atmosphere, the enthusiasm, the school spirit down here.
Oh, it's great. It's neat to have the whole school get into it. And so many, all the people you talk to, all the way down from the principal, superintendent, to the school board, to the faculty, everybody unites in a common bond, and it's kind of neat, very neat.
A lot of people ask me, how can you work those 14, 15-hour days down at the state tournament? I'll tell you, one of the reasons why is the enthusiasm in this building. It just really keeps it going.
It's just super. You get in here a half hour before the game, and you got the battle of the bands going on. They're going. It's just a tremendous atmosphere.
Kennedy couldn't get that three-pointer to go, and a foul on the offensive rebound. Good position that time, Greg Brown. 3 personals on Ben Bry.
Yep. It's his third. He got a little over anxious on that rebound. Came across. So that's 6 team fouls on Vincent and just 2 though on Madison West. So
the Regents now picking up the pressure. Green inside to Greer. Ooh, hammer time inside. There's no way Greer was going to get that shot off, was it?
That's right. You just don't tickle him on the arm. Either make sure he doesn't make it, and otherwise leave him alone. And you don't want to hurt anybody, but you got to get up there and make sure.
No look pass this time for Green.
Do we have to give him 4 shots on that? I think they both got him.
Humont Greer, just a junior, 6'6" junior forward, averaging 13.2 per game. He has 11 today. Had a terrific game against Neenah. Had a huge rebound basket in the final minute off a missed free throw against Neenah.
That was the key. They were up by 2, missed a free throw, and he tipped it in for the 4-point lead, which pretty much iced the game. It was an awesome putback.
It's an 11-point lead right now for Vincent.
They asked Diener after the game, in the postgame, you coach that, he had a little scheme. He said, hey, that's just athleticism. I can't take any credit. That was just a great move.
Monroe trying to go one-on-one against Green. The leap and leaner's good. Pretty little move there by Lewis Monroe. Monroe becomes the first Regent player to hit double figures in points. He now has 11.
A 9-point lead, 5:21. Getting down to crunch time here.
We'll see how the Vikings attack. Will they run some more clock, or will they go to the basket?
We'll play with them a little bit, wait for their opportunity. They're working around the outside, but any chance they get to penetrate, they'll take it inside.
Yeah, they let Highshaw go to the basket that time, forced the miss.
Big possession right here now.
Monroe for 3. Kennedy rebounds. Foul on Kennedy. Long rebound came out, but they got Kennedy that time for a push.
Let's take a look here. Take another look at it. Yeah, just on his back a little bit.
That's a tough call.
Yes, it is. But anytime you're over the guy's back, even at all, you're going to get called for the foul.
4:50 to go.
That was close.
4:50 to go, fourth quarter. You see the score.
Still a long way to go. Vincent in kind of a 2-on-2, spread the floor a little bit so that it stops all double teaming. The minute they try to double team, they'll kick it to the open man, which makes it very frustrating for the defense.
Brown. A lot of contact inside and a blocking call on Kennedy. And again, he has the look of disbelief. Thought he had position that time.
Okay, see, the thing is, once the guy leaves the floor, he's got to have room to come down. And he was there, but he didn't quite get there before he left the floor. And then that's why it was the was the blocking foul. Had he been there a half second sooner, he'd been all right. But you got to give the guy room to come down.
4 fouls now on Kennedy. He needs to be extra careful. I will say this, that call is the toughest call to make in basketball.
A very tough call.
0 for 2. Free throw troubles coming back to haunt the Vikings. 9-point lead. The Regent's still in this thing. Poked away this time. Stolen back by Monroe. 2-on-1 with Bry. And the foul. And just like that, we have a ball game again.
Oh, boy, we certainly do.
Lewis Monroe had it picked cleanly, and then he picks it right back.
Yeah, picked it right back and took it in. Faked the pass, took it in on a great move to his left, and was fouled.
Monroe trying to complete the 3-point play.
Down to 7. Said that West would make a run, and here it comes.
Can't do it. Still a 7-point lead.
Both teams missing a couple free throws here. Those free throws are so important.
Greer in the post, backing down Kennedy, and he got it to go. Kennedy had to give some ground. He has 4 fouls. 13 points now for Cumont Greer. Monroe. Battle for the rebound. Long pass stolen away, and a foul that time. Ooh, that was dangerous.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Green accidentally got underneath Monroe that time and took him to the floor pretty hard.
Well, they were both going for the ball. Both going for the ball, but the ball was a little underthrown, and he's anxious to get the ball. You can see him actually. You know, that's a great call. Sometimes it gets called the other way, but got to give him room to get the ball. Both going for the ball, and no harm intended.
Collins at the line. Missing the front end of the bonus.
That's 5 possible points. Vincent missed the bonus, and now they missed a 1 shot and then a potential bonus free throw.
Highshaw getting free somehow inside, gets his own rebound again.
And notice, rather than try to take it in, he took it back outside.
20-second timeout for Tom Diener. He wants to talk it over with the Vikings. The 2000 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Menards, your official home super center for the 21st century. Save big money at Menards. You know, you're looking at Tom Diener. I wanted to say something about him. We had a chance to talk to him before the game and yesterday as well. And he said, you know, one of his biggest coaching influences is Dave Buss, the former college coach at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, a coach he played for back in the early 80s. He's taken a lot of what he learned from Coach Buss and implemented it in his system at Milwaukee. Vincent, you know a few things about Coach Buss. What was he all about?
We were about 40 miles from Green Bay. Very, very disciplined coach. His teams are very disciplined. In fact, he even had them all shooting almost exactly the same style and so forth. But and I think Tom is very, very organized. Just watching his practice on Wednesday on the shoot around and so forth, everything is planned, every minute, everything to the minute in his offense. I mean, he's very, very disciplined. Has a very disciplined team, and he got a lot of that from Buss, like you said.
Yeah, each team gets 25 minutes to shoot around, and I don't think the Vincent Vikings wasted 1 second out there, did they?
No.
Foul on Hertzurek that time. 16 fouls on West, so the Vikings will shoot free throws from here on out. 3:09 to go, 4th quarter.
A long way from done, finished yet. Oop.
Oh, and a foul on Kennedy off the inbounds. That's 5 personal fouls on Brian Kennedy. He is out of the game. A big blow for the Regents. Let's take another look at it. Lower part of your screen. Oh, I'm not sure about that, Coach.
Yeah, that was a toughie.
Looks like he was just trying to get around the screen. Some innocent contact that time.
Sometimes somebody falls, they feel they got to call something.
Fouls out with 9 points and 7 rebounds. Really, the Regents' go-to guy. And if you followed prep basketball in the Madison area, a lot of folks know about Brian Kennedy's story. 1-year suspension, transferred from Madison East. Didn't play his first game for the Regents this season until the sectional final.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. He practiced, never missed a practice, coach said, all year long, even though he couldn't play. So that's pretty shows a lot of dedication. He loves the game.
Practiced with the team all season long, and Coach Hodge told us before the game that his teammates have really welcomed him with open arms. And come playoff time, and why not? What a terrific talent.
Yeah.
And a big loss for Madison West.
Okay, big free throw there for Gabe Green. He puts her down. He got a little shooter's touch right there. But they all look good in the book when they go in.
That's right. The Vikings now 5 of 8 from the free throw line so far today. They're going to need those free throws down the stretch if they want to hang on to win this one.
11-point lead.
We'll see if Monroe can create. Bry decides on the two-pointer instead. Loose in the middle. Highshaw comes out of there with it. And a foul that time on Bry, and he's frustrated with himself. Thought he should have had the little leaner from 12.
All right, and that's 5 on him.
5 fouls on Ben Bry. So in a span of about 30 seconds, West loses 2 of their best offensive players.
And that was just one of those situations. Highshaw did the right thing. He had to steal. You notice over there. He had to steal, and rather than try to fast break, they had the lead. He was going to take it back as he was coming. Poor Bry was just coming up court, and almost kind of ran into him. Certainly wasn't trying to foul at all. But those things happen. That's why you always tell kids not to have any dumb fouls. And I'm not saying he had any dumb ones, but you're going to get a couple where you just happen to be the wrong place at the right time.
Kind of fouls.
Exactly. And they're fouls. They're fouls, and they have to be called. But it's not one that you were trying to do anything that was stupid or anything like that. But you're going to get some of those, and that's why you can't afford any bad reach ones. And although all of his fouls were good, a couple times he got a little anxious got a couple of those fouls on rebounds where he got a little over anxious and got on the back.
Ben Bry, the senior, hoping he still has one more game left in his career, but the Regents will have a lot of work to do if they hope to get back in this one. Under 3 minutes to go. 11-point lead for Vincent. Timeout. Boyce Hodge wants to talk to his Regents. They'll talk strategy. While they talk strategy, we'll take a break. Let's hear from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Whoa, what's up? Oh, that's a miss. That's lame. Sports drinks, colas, like that's working up there? But you get something good. You know why you don't have game? Because you don't got milk, that's why. Vitamin D. You want the D, you need me. Oh, right there. Basket's that way, Chief. Yeah.
Want game? Milk has 9 essential nutrients for active bodies.
You know what? When you guys are done denying, your beverage problem, give me a call. I'll be in the fridge. Come on, Shake.
Scott Emmerich and Carl Brugink back at the Kohl Center in Madison, where Milwaukee Vincent is in command, leading by 11 with 2:41 to go, and a pretty low-scoring game. In fact, it compares favorably to some of the other low-scoring games since 1991 in Division I. The fewest total points scored in a Division I tournament game down here was 81. It's happened twice, and just so happens Milwaukee Vincent was involved in both those games. Take a look at that. Yeah, Vincent 54-27 winners. That was in the quarterfinal game against Madison West last year, and then in a semifinal game against Racine Case last year, 81 points, a game in which Vincent lost.
And that's not just a happenstance. That's the fact that Vincent gets the lead. They play very smart, and they don't get into a running game.
In and out from Monroe, and Greer rebounds. A lot of in and outs for the Regents today. Had a couple go down the hatch and pop right back out. Now we get a timeout as Tatum got stuck near the center court line. This will be a full timeout. So with 2:23 to go, we'll take a break too. Let's hear from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you win. And sometimes you find yourself at the bottom of a pile of guys who haven't showered in a few hours. In which case, it'd be nice if they'd be good sports and got off. The WIAA Sportsmanship Award. You gotta be good to get it.
Clean up with big savings on shop vacs from Menards. With super quiet operation, this 8-gallon model is on sale $39.99 after $5 rebate. A 10-gallon vac with detachable blowers, $49.99 after rebate. Chamberlain premium garage door openers feature a lifetime warranty and Security Plus anti-theft protection. This half-horsepower model is on sale at $129. Open up big savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Bob Radovich back at the Kohl Center with a person who has seen quite a few of these state tournaments. This is Judy Philback. And Judy, you've been coming here how long now?
50 years.
What keeps you coming back?
Love it. I just absolutely love it. I started when I was at Randall Grade School in 6th grade. And when I went to college, brought all my college friends, and now I bring all my dodgeball friends.
Now, 50 years, you've got to have some pretty good memories. What things stand out?
The shot that Lamont Weaver made that went into overtime in Beloit Memorial won. Also, my daughter was a cheerleader, and that was really exciting. In 1950, we all came to see Paul Morrow, and he went on to play for Wisconsin. He was the highlight of the team of 1950, and St. Croix Falls won.
Plenty of great memories. 50 years of state tournaments for Judy Philback. Scott, Carl, back to you.
Bob Radovich really scanning the stands. Great work, Bob.
Boy, I tell you, he doesn't let anything get by him, does he? Well, we got him at the free throw. That was the first foul for Monroe, so he can afford to give some.
Rick Davis at the line. That was his first point of the evening. Senior guard, one of the few seniors on this Vincent Ball Club. 2 for 2. That's what you like to see from your senior.
Yep. Like you said, Vincent had a little trouble with free throws last night, but right now they put a couple in, very important ones.
A little bit more relaxed too, because last night Nina was firing away and hitting a bunch of 3-pointers and climbing back into the game. And right now the Vikings are showing a lot of poise down the stretch.
And I think Madison West purposely fouling because they're hoping that they need a repeat of last night, and so that's their one last bit of strategy. They're going to try to put them in the line and see if they can put them down.
2 free throws the rest of the way now for Vincent, as Madison West has entered the super bonus. 9 points for Greg Brown. Had a terrific start to this game and really got the Vikings going early on and made the Regents play from behind.
Well, that's it. They got that 9-point lead that first quarter, and then they played fairly even after that.
2 for 2 for Mr. Greg Brown, the 6-foot sophomore guard. And now we have a line violation, and Vincent will get the ball back.
He threw it in, and poor Anderson thought that he was supposed to throw it in. He jumped out of bounds with the ball. When it rains, it pours.
Tatum on the inbound, and now Highshaw will bring it back out. 2 minutes to go. And a foul that time on Collins, and they call an intentional foul.
Well, he felt that he grabbed him a little too hard, I guess.
Let's take another look at it, Carl. You be the judge.
Well, what makes it kind of hard is they're letting him play quite a bit. So he hit him once or touched him once and didn't get the foul. So he said, well, I got to make sure I grab him a little harder. And then, of course, he got the intentional.
You know, you've been skirting the issue all game long. I know you got to face these officials during this season. You're trying to make friends with them down here.
Oh, no. They're great guys. Hey, really.
They are. They really work hard.
It's so easy for us with replays and so forth to see everything. But
and we should mention, too, Carl, is that you don't just get assigned to a straight tournament game. You have to earn your way down
you
here.
get rated by all the coaches on all of your games during the season. And these guys, they meet every week. I don't know if people realize they have officials associations. They meet every week and go through the rules. They're very dedicated.
You're still trying to make friends down here.
I have a lot of good friends with officials. Not all the time. But no, they're a lot. We need them. They need us.
Exactly.
And, they're just as fired up. They're just as fired up about getting to a game like this as the coaches and players are. This is what their utopia is, getting up here.
Tremendous honor, that's for sure.
Bet.
Milwaukee Vincent really turning it around from the charity stripe. 9 of 13 tonight. It's 4 of 12 in the fourth quarter yesterday. Like I mentioned a few moments ago, the circumstance is quite a bit different now.
Yeah, I'll say.
$13 points now for Greg Brown. Substitutions gave Green back in, and Brown will have a seat.
And all of a sudden now, but when they make the free throws, instead of closing it, they got it up to 19 points. So the only good thing about this, as far as Madison is concerned, is again they're going to get all these kids on the floor.
Yeah, now Boyce Hodge is going to empty his bench, get some of the substitutes in to see some quality playing time down here. Ross Albrechtsen, number 40. Nate Otis, number 10. Pat Fate, number 34, checking in, and many of the starters heading to the bench now. Disappointed, of course, as you'd understand, but a terrific run for Madison West down the stretch here.
You know, I have a little grandson. He's in first grade or second grade over at Wausau West, and of course their team lost last night. And I said, remember, Michael, I said, there's no losers at State. And he said, that's just what Coach Murphy from Wausau said. And that's very true. There are no losers down here.
Hernserich.
I've got an extra throw. I have a son that's assistant coach at Wausau West, and he got to go down here second time, so it's going to need.
Hernserich with his first points of the game, the senior guard. Closing out his career. That's one nice thing, too. Win or lose, if you're a senior and you're down here at State, you know you're going to play your final game of your career on this big floor.
What you bet. Well, let's face it, all but 4 schools in the entire state finish their season with a loss. So what better if you're going to have one of those? This is the place to have it. That's for sure.
Koenig with the foul that time.
That's the only thing, as wonderful as it is and super as it is and exciting and everything, it still can be very frustrating. But when after a couple days you get over the loss, you can just say, hey, we played on the whole center floor in front of about 17,000 people and making you feel pretty good.
Rick Davis at the line, shooting free throws, 2 points on the game. More substitutions for Madison West. Reggie Gaddis, along with Peter Shula, number 14, into the lineup. $1:13 to go. Davis splits a pair of free throws. 17-point lead for Vincent. They're on their way to the Division I title game, which will be played tomorrow evening right here on the Kohl Center floor. 3-pointers too strong that time by Fate. Rebounded. Here's Peter Shula for 3. Davis coming out of there with it. Long full court pass up to Tatum. Knocked out of bounds and a foul. We'll get mass substitutions now for Milwaukee Vincent as Tatum goes to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Peter Shula on the foul that time from Madison West.
Deontay Tatum, an interesting story, a transfer from New Berlin West. He could have had the best of both worlds. New Berlin West to play in the Division II title game tomorrow.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? He couldn't lose, as it turned out. Now here comes a full-scale substitution for Vincent.
Robert Shaw into the lineup. Drew Skeeter. Ivory Allen. Montrell McKay also into the lineup. Make sure we get them all.
You bet.
Those are the guys that work hard.
Oh, you bet. And I was saying this afternoon, you know, the starters get all the credit. Same with Vincent. You say, well, they only get 5 or 6 players. If you don't have a second string that's working hard in practice, you aren't going to keep getting better. So every one of these guys deserves all the recognition they can get. That's why you don't give out just five medals. You give out medals to the entire team because they're all very important.
Nate Otis taking it hard to the hoop, and he draws the foul. So we'll get some free throws from Nate Otis, the senior guard, capping out his career.
Like I said, I've said many times that, you know, you say, well, this is mop-up time, but it's very important to these guys to get a couple minutes on the floor, even a couple seconds if they have to. But they've worked hard, and their team is doing well, and their team's at State because they've got 10 and 12, 14 good players and have good practice.
Coming up next, Milwaukee, Washington, and Brookfield Central playing for the right to play against this Milwaukee Vincent team in the Division I championship tomorrow. Central, Milwaukee, Washington. How do you break that one down, Coach?
Well, I got to go with Washington on that one, but it should be a good ball game. Should be a good ball game, but Washington looks like they got a lot of guns.
Brookfield Central may be the sentimental favorite. Their head coach, Bill Groff, coaching his final season at Brookfield Central. He's retiring.
Well, I'm sure he'll get everything out of his kids, but it'll be a tough role for him to pull out the upset.
And Milwaukee, Washington with a tremendous tradition down here at State. Vincent running the clock. Marcus Suggs also into the game for Vincent. The final 14 seconds. Ivory Allen can't get it to go. Rebounded by Otis. Otis still trying to get a grip on it. Finally does. That half-court shot won't count. And Milwaukee Vincent is on their way to the Division I state title game. They beat Madison West 52-35. So the Regents will try to win their 4th state title in the last 5 years, and they'll do it against the winner of Milwaukee, Washington, and Brookfield Central. We'll be back to recap and look ahead and look back at some of the second half highlights as well. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
Don't get it fried. Get it fresh at Subway restaurants. Now's a great time to catch our tuna sub or reel in a seafood and crab sub. They're better than ever.
And then hit the open man for Vincent.
The Regents made a little bit of a comeback. Kennedy with a nice little post up inside. They cut the lead to 6. Had a chance to really get back into it and make it a close game, but they couldn't quite do it. One of the reasons why, some Vincent defense, but there's Monroe with another steal right back.
That was a great move right there. There was some nice highlights.